Anthony Slater here with Erik Horne. We're inside the Thunder's practice facility. Draft day was supposed to be a quiet draft day. No picks for the Thunder. Didn't turn out to be one. A bombshell dropped early in the first round. The Thunder trade Serge Ibaka to the Orlando Magic. Get a good haul back. Victor Oladipo, 24-year-old shooting guard, second pick from the 2013 draft. Domantas Sabonis, Arvydas Sabonis kid, who was the 11th pick tonight in this draft. And then Ersan Ilyasova, stretch 4. Serge, key member of this team, obviously been so good for so long here. But unrestricted free agent next offseason, kind of has grumbled about shots. To get what the Thunder got back for Ibaka, you gotta like it.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta like what the Thunder did with this transaction. I mean, bringing in a young guard with the way the league's moving. I mean, so Serge was an integral piece of what the Thunder's been doing for the past 4 years. I mean, however long he's been here, but I mean, particularly in the years that he's been so good defensively. But with Oladipo in the fold now, I mean, you've really got, one of the most athletic backcourts in the league, and you've also got a good growth project in the Sabonis guy.
Yeah, everything right now for the next 8 days and beyond into early July is about Kevin Durant's free agency. How does every move made affect his free agency? And obviously, this is the biggest. I mean, this is just a huge, organizational philosophy change in a sense. We don't know exactly how Durant views this. I mean, he's from DC, which is where Oladipo's from. They kind of know each other a little bit. He wasn't particularly close to Serge, but Serge has been so good. He's played alongside Serge so long. He has some type of opinion on this deal. Sam Presti wouldn't really go into if you talked to Kevin about it. You had to think there was some communication, but what do you think as far as how this potentially affects Durant?
Well, I mean, Sam Presti also mentioned that they're in constant communication with the guys throughout the season about the team. So, I mean, Durant, Westbrook, these guys, they've been in conversation about how the team's going to be formulated going forward probably. I think that it's interesting that it touches so many aspects of the team, not just Durant, but guys like Dion Waiters. I mean, what's going to happen to him now that you got Oladipo, who you presume would...
It's kind of a better Dion Waiters. He's going
to be a great addition. And, I mean, you presume if he's not starting, he's going to take that six-man role. So where does that leave Dion Waiters, who's this restricted free agent, who's going to be looking for a big deal? I mean, does that make him expendable for the Thunder?
Yeah, there's a lot of tentacles to this, which, we'll kind of examine moving forward into July. This promised to be a really interesting offseason, not just here, but league-wide. It's been a fascinating last couple of days. The Rose trade, obviously the draft tonight, everything, we'll have you covered. But let's go to Sam Presti and some of his comments tonight about the trade and the draft.
Obviously, I do also want to begin by thanking Serge. He's been absolutely integral to helping us create a foundation of sustainable success for the Thunder. He's been a great citizen of Oklahoma City, and we're confident that he's going to continue his career trajectory with the Magic in Orlando. Tonight was a pretty unique opportunity for us as an organization. I think the thing that we have to acknowledge and recognize is that the reason why we're able to make decisions and capitalize on opportunities like this is because of the development and continued evolution of some of our players, namely Adams and Robertson, and some of the things that we were able to see in the postseason, gave us the opportunity to look to add to other parts of the team. So I think credit to Billy as we went through the playoffs, seeing some different things, and again, like I said before, the opportunity to add a player like Victor, a player like Ersan, and Domantas are guys that we really feel like fit our team and are continuing this evolution of the team. Obviously, Daniel Hamilton we got later in the draft, and we're excited about adding him to the program. He fits a profile of sorts for us in terms of versatility and ability to put the ball down on the floor. So exciting night for us, and we're looking forward to welcoming these new members of the organization.
Sam, I guess at what point or did you determine it was, time to trade Serge?
You know, I don't think there's like a certain point in time, but you know, the thing we're always focused on is how we make the organization better, how we look to aggressively pursue progress, pursue improvement, and we felt like this was an opportunity to do that. And as I said before, the combination of players that we're getting back, we feel really fit our team, and we always have to do what we think is best for the team.
With Victor, how important was it to get a solid two-way player at that two-guard spot?
Well, I think number one thing with Victor is makeup. You know, this is a guy that we've looked at for a long time. He's tough-minded, he's competitive, he's selfless. He is a guy that we really feel like not only brings things on the floor for us, but I think he's going to be a real add to our environment, our culture on an everyday basis. So I mean, we were thrilled about having him, but I think there's a common thread with the three players that we brought back in this particular trade, and these are really serious basketball players, you know, really high character people, and guys that I think understand how to contribute to winning and understand it. Sabonis, I'm incredibly impressed with his understanding and advancement of not just the game, but like the way he goes about it. And I think all three of them are good fits for us because they represent what we want to be.
How does this move potentially impact, you know, your chase to retain Kevin Durant? Was there any conversations before or after the move with Kevin about it?
Sure. I couldn't speculate on the first part of your question. You know, as I've said, you know, throughout the off season so far, you know, we have a lot of conversations with our players throughout the year, and you know, I wouldn't get into the details of those, but you know, I also, you know, I have to make the decisions that I think you know, are best for the franchise. But we're talking to those guys throughout the year about the team all the time.
Talked to Serge since the trade, and if so, how did he take it?
I haven't been able to reach him. He's overseas. I do hope to talk to him. I sent him a text message, and I'm sure I will. And when I do, I'm going to thank him because he's been, as I said before, critical to the success of the team. And he's grown as a player while he was here.
Sam, Oladipo for Ibaka seems like a pretty good swap. Meets each team's needs. How'd you get him to throw in the 11th pick in the draft? Seemed like that'd be a decent little trade, just one for one.
I mean, I don't know. You're always looking for deals that work for everybody. Obviously, I have a relationship with Rob. He knows the player very well. I think, you know, he's going to fit their team excellent. But you're trying to figure out ways that make it work for everybody, and everybody would be willing to commit, you know, to commit to that type of deal. It may. You're just trying to find ways to make sense because it's oftentimes, I've said this recently. It's not so much about the things you want. It's about the things that are made available to you. So to your point a little bit, Myron, like, you know, it's not about things you want in NBA personnel or identifying what you would like. That's not the part that's challenging. The part that's challenging is actually making decisions that impact winning from what's actually available. And so I think when you know, these types of players are not often available, they matched up well for us. You know, Sabonis was a significant aspect to it, as was Ersan's ability to fill in around our core players. So you're just trying to find deals that make sense for everybody.
I already started hearing chatter about Kevin, about teams, what they think they can do and they can offer. when you're making this deal, is it in the back of your mind, what's Kevin thinking about this? Even if you don't run it by him, are you thinking like how this fits with him or how he may perceive it or whatever? Is that even or are you just thinking about the deal itself and what you think it's?
Well, I'd like to think, number one, when we talk with him or we talk with other, some of our other players, we're always learning about, what we think is best for the Thunder and what makes the Thunder what it is. So I feel like that's an ongoing conversation all the time. But my hope would be that, like, whatever we're doing to improve the organization, whatever we're doing to try to build a great program, one that can sustain high performance, is one and the same. One and the same with what his what he's about. So I guess that's the best way I can answer that question. Like, we're striving to build a great organization, and I think I don't want to speak for him, but I think for the last 8 years he's been striving for the same thing.
How important was the financial side of this, where you get a guy you control and his restricted free agency, you get a young center for a guy that's going to be an unrestricted free agent?
Well, again, I think, as I said before, I wouldn't say so much the finances, so to speak, as much as just the way the cap works, and making sure that we can continually sustain the performance that we've had over the years, give ourselves every opportunity to win a championship. I think, again, like in regards to the strategy or things of that nature, that's becoming very much what the NBA is about, especially with the increase in the salary cap. So the ability to have an Oladipo whom is eligible for an extension in July, along with Dre, along with Steven, at 23 years old. That's important for our team. And Sabonis obviously will be on a rookie contract going forward. I think more than anything, I think there's a lot more options. I think there's more flexibility for us, and an opportunity for us to continually and relentlessly try to put the best team together.
Or a six man,
yeah,
or whatever role.
I anticipated that question. The thing I would say is, what we're trying to do is build the best team, and I think Billy has shown that he'll figure out how to maximize a group. I don't know, honestly, who plays where, or what, but first we're looking for the type of people that we're looking to try to add to the group, and Victor obviously fits with that, but he also is a guy that can play multiple positions, and we have a lot of different, I think we have a lot of options across the board, not just at that position. But what I'd like to see is how he goes about putting it together. I have a lot of confidence in Billy, and like I said before, I think his creativity and his ability to continually find different combinations gives us the opportunity to try to go out and capitalize on things like this in a training.
Were there workouts or communication with our Demonis before the draft? Since you guys obviously weren't in that range to draft him.
Yeah. No, we had a chance to interview him, and I was impressed by him. But we watched him. He had an open workout in California. But this is a guy that our scouts, Will Dawkins, Troy Weaver, Brandon Miller, Ryan Lambert, these guys had watched him throughout the year, and felt like he would be someone we want to add to the program.
Sounds like Kevin has had a relationship with Victor. There was even some story about maybe a mentor role with him. Can you elaborate?
I don't, Kevin, when you play basketball the way Kevin does, in terms of like Hawkins, you know a lot of players. So he's played. If there is a ball bouncing somewhere, he's usually playing in the game. Yeah, so I think he probably knows Victor. I couldn't speak to the relationship specifically.
Sam Ilyasova has a partial guarantee before July 1st. Is that something you look, something to take advantage of? Maybe use as a trade chip or waive him, or is he here to stick around?
No, we traded for him because we think he's a good complementary player to our core players. He led the league in charges taken last season. He's a 90.